Alton Towers is home to many world's first and world record breaking roller coasters that, if you somehow didn't know, were not allowed to go past the height of the tree line when they were built, due to many different factors such as nature and stuff like that, but mainly the fact the locals don't like it. With that being the case though, Alton Towers already have to build somewhat smaller rides at their park compared to others. But wouldn't it be funny if we made them even smaller? Everyone talks about, oh, abolish the tree line rule, I'll make them taller. No. I want smaller rides. So join me today as I am going to stupidly try and remake Alton Towers roller coasters, but pretty much as kids coasters. Oh, and I'm only going to have a short amount of time to build them in. This is going to be absolute chaos. So be sure to watch till the end so you don't miss anything. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this video. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Now, if you're wondering how I'm going to make these smaller versions of the Alton Towers coasters, am I going to Alton Towers with an angle grinder to grind down those supports and make them smaller? No, but I will be in fact using Planet Coaster 2 from my humble abode, and as you can see we are in this park here where we have already made some odd looking water slides out of some UK roller coasters. You can see certain Alton Towers and Thorpe Park ones, but yeah, if you want to check them out, link in top right, because we're crossing over this line here to start making some very small roller coasters. And because I can't decide which one to start with, I'll let the wheel decide for me. Here we go. What are we going to get first? Quick spin. It's already small, but we'll try our best. Octonauts Roller Coaster Adventure. So when I say small rides, by the way, I mean like even the train is tiny. So if we take the station like this and decrease it down in size, maybe one more, there we go. We have a 3-car train, and after a bit of research I might have a basic idea of how it works. So we're going to go up a lift hill like this. Bear in mind, again, we have to make this tiny. Come around this way, and somehow this is actually longer than the coaster they have planned for CBeebies Land anyway. And then if we auto-complete that final turn, that works. There we go. I've managed to complete it normally, not with about a 450-mile detour. I have smoothed it over, and it is now time to test it out up the very, very long lift hill. And here we go. Down that first drop. Oh, at that point, you'd see the spray. And then you go down here into one final turn. Lovely. Wow. What a ride. Although, yeah, I didn't feel it looked right without the whale in the middle. And with the effect. That's perfect to me, I think. And we've got the second shortest roller coaster in the park, Oblivion. We have the B&M dive coaster right here, and we're going to place it like so. And the station can't be any smaller on this one. And so far, the seat numbers and the amount of rows, this is currently bigger than Oblivion, and that's a problem. So we're going to go like this right here, and we're going to turn it. And we're going to tunnel down slightly. There we go. And then, oh god, that's a bit close. And then right here, we will jump up into the brake run if I can. Can I even do that? I think I can. There we go. That's beautiful. And there we go once again. These should be minute-long builds. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this in about 2 seconds. And here we go. The gates open and almost swing into the lift hill. And we make our way up the lift hill. This is going so incredibly slowly. It's about realistic, to be fair. And then we enter up onto the little turnaround. And here we go, down the drop. Ooh, hey, nice. Into the overbank, and into the brake run. Wow. And now we're going to sit here for 15 minutes. I genuinely think if someone showed me that, I would think it's Oblivion. Other than how the... what is that train articulation? What is going on? How it goes down this drop as well. I'm assuming, yep, that back row gets yeeted. But it works. I'm happy with that. On to the next one. It is 13. Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know how I'm going to make the drop track smaller, but we'll try. Here we go then. We're going to take the 13 looking cars and the actual track that it's supposed to be on. Minimize the train down to 1 car. We've managed to do that quite well. And then we're going to head round here like you do on the real ride and start heading up that very small lift hill. And here we go down the drop. I feel like it'd be quite funny to add trims on because that's what it's got in real life. Into a nice sort of over the top of the drop airtime hill. We're then going to head into the drop track, which somehow actually fits in the place. We're just going to have to drop through the air gates, in which we then head backwards during, and to be fair, because this is underground, I could literally get away with making it normal size, but we're not going to do that, because we have to get this off of a switch track, which I'm going to put right here, and this is already messing up. Oh god. And yeah, that appears to be 13, maybe more like 1.3, and you do really like to see, after smoothing, the sort of dark forest aesthetic that is coming from this. Actually, let me repeat that in just a second. You can really see the dark forest aesthetic coming through here. As we test the ride, don't go down to the woods today because you're going to get downscaled. And here we go, up the lift hill right here. Quite a slow lift hill, which is a bit worrying. And then we head into the first drop. Whoa, look at that. Then we go around into the first airtime hill, a little bit slow. Nice little cross track interchange. Some more airtime hills. I don't know how this is making it, I can't lie. We go slowly over that hill. That was quite realistic because it goes slow over that one in real life. And then here we go into the drop track room. I'm excited to see how this plays out. And off we go. Whoa, straight down. And we're into the void. We have a quick release, straight round, up towards the switch track. No! And we make it so slowly to the switch track, and we should go straight into it and just finish off the ride. I think we're about to be switched, and that is 13. You know what, again, someone showed me that. I'd say you need to get better at the game. But so far, not too shabby. Let's see what the wheel has to say for us next. And we are off. What are we going to get? Air. The B&M Flyer, now known as Galactica, but I just like to call it Air because I miss it so much. We will get the station started. We're going to have to put this underground first. Okay, so we're going to have to go out of the station and do a little right-left, which again, I feel like this is just going to end up like the real thing. We will go to our right straight away rather than after a bit and start going up the lift hill. How tall do we want to make this one? Just like there? Yeah, that'll be all right. And there we go, Galactica is complete. You have the first lift hill into that drop, then we have the fly to lie section that should be going through a portal actually. Hang on, I should make something like that. There we go, I think that portal works, doesn't it? Got the lie to fly and everything like that, the turn into the barrel roll. Let's just give this a test, shall we? First drop comes at us straight away. And here we go, through the portal. Whoa, look at that. Incredible. Not incredible. Into the lying down section where we're going to be on our back for quite some time now, despite it even being a smaller version. Then we twist around onto our front. Nice head chopper there for the guests in the air gates. And we go down into a barrel roll or corkscrew, whatever you want to call that. So far, it's holding up all right. Little airtime hill there. Another little airtime hill off to the left. And this long section where you go out towards the car parks. Awesome. Into what just happened? Into the brake run and straight back into the station. I forgot to do the little left-right wiggle on the entry to the station. That was a fun little coaster, you know. I mean, I love the hang time or the lie time that you get here. Let's see what the wheel has in store for us next. And here we go. We're spinning. I'm spamming my mouse. What are we going to get? Let's pray for something good. Wickerman. The Wickerman! I feel like that is a solid choice. We, of course, have a wooden roller coaster in this game, so we're going to... where is it? It's right there. So we head down to our right for the little indoor section to start the ride, and then we head left straight after that. And then we have the strange lift hill angle, don't we? We have to go up a little bit like that, and then like so. I think that's quite funny for a small ride. What is that lift hill? And then we drop down here. This is going to get insanely bad at some point, I can already tell, if it isn't already. The flat turn coming up now. One of the most controversial parts on the ride that everyone thinks is pointless, but I quite enjoy it. And then we head down a drop into an airtime hill, quickly swooping right. And then, yeah, this is awful. I've managed to make that work somehow, thus bringing us to the end of the Wickerman layout. I need to put a man or something though, because it's kind of not the Wickerman without it. Shout out to Kaimru Mouse for this. Burning effigy. We start to go down the first drop. This could be in a tunnel, but that would be very difficult to make with this small of a track. Here we go into that first drop. Okay, that was terrible. Whoa, look at the fire. It's so real and epic. I thought we were going to stall to an airtime hill. Are we even going to make it over that? We do. Oh my god. Then we head around into the flat turn. Wow, that's got about the same speed as normal. Then we head into the final airtime hill through the Wickerman one more time. Down the hill. And then into the S-curve into... Oh, that wasn't actually that bad. We did slightly get our head smashed against the actual Wickerman itself, but I don't think that was awful. I quite enjoyed the nice swooping elements towards the end. It felt like a nice little kiddie wooden coaster. On to the next and final one. Which before I spin it, if you've got all this way in the video and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and 1,300 likes, and I will do this again, but for Thorpe Park roller coasters next time. And which one are we going to get? I was literally about to say I want one that's going to be good but won't take too long. That's the one that's going to be good but will take too long. This is going to be horrendous. So we must start with finding the Infinity Gerstlauer model. I'm going to move this a little bit further away than all of our other ones because I feel like this is going to be a mess. I'm going to place the station up here and we're going to shorten this down. Looks like we're making a Eurofighter now. As you can see, we're already corkscrewing through the bottom of the station, and that's quite fast, but it'll do. I'm kind of scared it won't get round half the layout, but we'll try. And we're going to head up the first lift hill. I'm going to make this slightly taller, I think, just to be sure. And we're already going to start diving down towards the next inversion, which is right here on the drop. This is going to be so dumb from this point onwards. And then we go into one of my favourite parts of the ride, which is the airtime hill towards the start. I'm going to make this quite poppy, but also not. The pretzel loop right there is, it exists. And then the corkscrew that takes you into the brake run for that next lift hill. And let's see if this actually gets round first, because I can't lie to you, that is not too bad so far. Here we go. We'll POV here at the end, but as you can see, it goes down that drop. Nice, that's not too bad. And then we have the dive loops. Again, it's not actually that bad, I can't lie. The airtime hill, good pop there. And then we go into this section here. Please don't stall. Oh, that was close. Got past. Over the corkscrew. I'm just so in awe of this, I can't speak English. And it got to the brake run, as you can see. And now it's disappeared. For the vertical lift hill, we can't exactly use the actual vertical lift in the game because the actual start of it is taller than the whole ride. So I'm going to have to do the old Planet Coaster 1 technique of using LSM launch to get us up there. Which then heads into my favourite element on the ride, despite there being 14 inversions, an airtime hill that gives you so much airtime coming out of your seat. You feel like you're going to fall out. It's so good. And then we head underneath this section here and go up into a cobra roll this time. And then this is the section I feel is going to have the most speed loss when we go into the final two inversions right here. We're going to have to try and find a way to put them amongst everything else. I've managed to link it up, and looking at it off-ride, bear in mind this is a photo of the Smiler from off-ride, okay? It looks a lot of like sort of messy track all around you. This is what it looks like in small version. I don't think it's that far off. You can clearly see the 14 inversions here. You can see the Staffordshire knot, even if it's a little bit janky. You can see the dive loops, the butterfly element, the airtime hills. We just need the Marmalizer in the center, which, shout out to Sepp, now can be a thing. And again, it doesn't look out of place. And I haven't once tested the second section of this ride, so this could go horribly wrong. And here we go down into the first section of the ride, the barrel roll or corkscrew, whatever you want to call it, underneath the station. That was quite nice. As we head into the lift hill, there's a lot of track nearby, but there's not much I can really do about that. As we crest the lift. God, I wish lift hills in real life were that quick. Go down to the right into the second inversion on the ride, and then oh god, okay, well the track layout's still right, but it's just a bit unsmooth. Through the Marmalizer, quite literally. Oh god, what happened there? And again, okay, corkscrew, that was pretty decent. As we okay, well that was stupidly fast. What just happened? Doesn't look too fast coming off the top. So we'll leave it like that, I guess. And then we go into that corkscrew there. And we got the butterfly. Wow. Into a big airtime hill. And then into the cobra roll. And this is where it's supposed to get a little bit rough on the rides. Let's see if I've done that realistically. Yes, I have. Through the final few inversions. And then up into the brake run. You know what? I might be the GOAT. As said, if we hit that like goal I said about earlier, I'll do a Thought Park one, and there might be a part 2 to the Towers one soon. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. See you later.